Okay. In today's class, we are going to discuss about CSS selector, lab number 45. So we know how to, so there are various locators like ID names, XPath, CSS selector, and we have discussed about advanced XPath techniques. So the extension part of CSS selectors we are going to discuss. Okay. How to inspect the web elements by using CSS locator strategy. So what are the various techniques are available to locate a web element in CSS selector. So we know the generic concept. Just right click and click on inspect, and you are clicking on this mouse pointer and you are keeping that mouse pointer on that particular web element. We are coming to know the particular CSS selector is input hash txt username, input hash txt password, and input hash button login dot button. So like that, we know about the CSS locator strategy. Okay, so but the CSS locator strategy, we can locate the web elements in 4 different ways. Okay, let's understand what are those. ID. So right click and click on inspect. Okay, copy the element. So this is the one. So if developer is giving ID something, whatever ID he is giving, so we can directly write CSS locator strategy as, okay, whatever tag name is there, input hash and ID. So if it is CSS locator, we can write like that. Suppose if it is button, input hash, yeah, whatever ID is there, we can write like that. So by using ID, we can write like that. Okay, and if it is class, okay, see here the developer is giving. So right click and click on inspect. So copy element. If the developer is mentioning about class, if developer is mentioning for a particular web element, class is equal to something he has given. Okay, in such case, you can identify that one input to dot class name. Okay, if it is ID, you have to write a hash and whatever is ID. If it is class name, you have to write input to dot button. Okay, so like that. So, and coming to the another one. Okay, attributes. Attributes means this is an attribute. So name is equal to txt username, one attribute. ID is equal to txt username, one attribute. Type is equal to text. Type is equal to text is one more another attribute for this particular web element. And here, how this based on attribute also we can write the CSS selector. See, I'm writing CSS selector input. Within the square brackets, we have to write whatever ID property is there. And if you want to add one more property, okay, you can take this one, Control C, and you can add it one more square brackets like this. So like this, we can able to add it. Okay, so like that, we can able to write, we can able to add a number of properties for a based on the attribute, so that the web element, it will be checked wherever ID is equal to txt username and name is equal to txt username. And based on substring also, we can look at the web elements. Okay, so let's go to this one. The first one is input. Here I am giving ID is equal to, okay, let me take the first one. Suppose here this time your txt username 1234 is there. Every time, okay, every time your ID is changing. Whenever you are logging 1234, and second time when you logged in 54 for txt username 5678, and third time when you are logging, some different random number is coming every time. Hello. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So, so here I am writing ID is equal to, so if the number is changing every time, I can take this one and I can write the CSS locator strategy like this. And here I am writing, so wherever my name, it will, wherever my ID will starts with this name, I'm locating that web element. And whatever the value it will ends, I'm not bothering. Okay. So here, so ID, so, and okay, this is the one. Okay. 1 second. So this will check the prefix of the string is fixed. So so I'm changing, so prefix of the string is fixed, and here suffix of the string is fixed. So here, suppose here it is showing like this txt password, and next time txt1 password, and next time txt2 dot password, txt3 password, it is changing like that. So whatever part it is changing, that part I'm removing, and I'm writing id dollar is equal to the whatever suffix of the string is fixed, that part, that that description I'm keeping like this. So based on this suffix of that particular string also, I can able to locate this one. So because every time here number is changing 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 6. So in that case, if suffix is changing, we can follow this strategy. See here I'm writing. Okay. And substring, so id star is equal to so whatever, so you suppose if it is changing in front and bottom, it is changing like this, the values are changing in both the sides. Okay, but the middle of the substring is not changing. So I can look at that web element strategy by using # symbol. So so by using any of these techniques, we can able to look at the web elements. Okay, so prefix, suffix, and substring. So this is the syntax I have given. Okay, so we can look at the web elements based on the object attribute properties, and the class name input dot class name. If it is id, input #id. So like that we can look at this one. And the last one is inner text. This is outdated. Okay, this is outdated. This syntax is now not acceptable. This is allowed only in css 2.0 only. But see, inner text, this is outdated, nobody is using, and this strategy it won't work. Suppose, okay, this concept it won't work at all, so we are not discussing about this topic. Inner text is because the latest version of html, the inner text for a particular web element, that is out of scope. Then nowhere this inner text concept they are not using. Okay, this is the outdated one. So this, by using these 4 strategies, we can look at the web elements. Okay, I think I have to go with other topics. Okay, Selenium grid. So we need to discuss about Selenium grid. So before discussing about Selenium grid, let me show you what is the purpose of Selenium grid. Okay, the purpose of Selenium grid is, okay, so in your, suppose a testng.xml contains 10 testng classes, tc01 add location, tc01 add jobs, like that. And you can able to execute those test cases parallelly within the same system. So we are giving thread count is equal to 3 and parallel is equal to classes, so that you could able to execute for every iteration 3 3 3 it will be executed, and in the last iteration the remaining one test case also it will be executed. So if you are executing all the test case execution within the same system, okay, that is we are managed, that is the part we have already led. But now my concept is, so if the testng classes contains 10 testng classes, and first 3 test cases it has to execute on node 1, means one of the computer, and the next 3 test cases I want to execute in another computer, and the next 3 test cases I want to execute in third computer, and the next remaining 1 test case I want to execute in remaining browser, remaining another node system. Okay, so you are executing your set of test cases parallelly in, okay, across multiple systems. So instead of using your own system, we are able to use maximum number of systems in the organization. Okay, so whenever you will click on testng.xml, whenever you will click run button, automatically in first system 3 sessions will be opened, it will be executed, and in the second system 3 test cases will be executed, and in the third system it will be executed remaining 3, like that. Okay, so distributing the test execution among multiple system is known as Selenium Grid. Okay, to implement Selenium Grid, what are the steps that we have to follow? Okay, to implement Selenium Grid, what are the steps we have to follow? One second. Okay, to implement the Selenium Grid, what are the steps we have to follow? So the first step is, one second, I will show you that part, that notepad. Where is that link? One second. Okay, right. So we have to download, okay, we have to download, one second, this is the one. Yeah. So we have to implement this Selenium Grid Hub and Node concept. So we have to download Selenium server.jar file. So where we will download that Selenium server.jar file, I will show you, just a minute. That link. Okay. So to download the Selenium server.jar file, we have to navigate to this website. One second. So here you need to download. So here the first point is you need to download the Selenium server.jar file. So I'm clicking. So let me go to my website. Okay, Selenium dev website. So go to Selenium Grid concept and downloads. So see, this is the one. So we have to download this selenium 4.server.jar file. Okay, this is the server.jar file we have to download from selenium dev down. So we have to keep this server.jar file in your system. Okay, so in my system I have already downloaded. Okay, in my system I have already downloaded, and I placed in my system under selenium server under grid. So this is the server file I have already placed here. Okay, and let me tell you the next point is, okay, so after that you have to make it one of system as hub system. Okay, you have to navigate to command prompt cmd. Okay, you have to navigate to command prompt, and this is the configuration you have to implement. To implement selenium grid concept, we have to do some configuration. Okay, so I have to navigate to command prompt, and after that I have to navigate where is my selenium server dot for this jar file has been downloaded. I have to navigate to this path. So I'm taking control C, and in command prompt I'm typing cd space control V. So 1 second, cd, and I'm pasting this control paste. So I'm navigating to cd change directory. So I navigated to grid folder. Okay, if I will click on dir, so I can able to view list of files. So here I am able to see in my system selenium 4.jar file is located into this location. Okay, so right. So now we understood. I have navigated to, so in my dir, I have seen I am at this file location. So now I want to run my server command. Okay, how to run my server command? Just a minute. So to run the server command, what is the command that you have to use is 1 second. So we have to use this command, control C. 1 second, selenium 4 hub, right? So this is the command we have to execute it from the command prompt. See, I'm going to execute, edit and paste. So java-jar selenium forward 4.0 alpha 4.jar and extension selenium server. So this is the so my hub is going to run on the port number 1234. Okay, so just let me run my system. So that's it. Now this system I can call it as a hub system. Okay, now I can call this message started selenium hub. Okay, so I can call this system as a hub system. Similarly, okay, so once you execute this command from the hub system, the hub will be, it will run in background in the command prompt. So this is nothing but your server. Okay, your hub server is running in the command prompt. Okay, now I need to execute, I need to connect to some remote node system. Okay, so and I have to execute the second command from the node system. Okay, 1 second, let me copy that command also. Where is that? Okay, so the second point is, okay, so here one important point is here it will connect to this one. So just I'm copying the entire string. 1 second, edit and select all I'm doing. Okay, and I'm doing edit and clicking on copy and go to notepad and I'm pasting here. So this is the one connecting to some port number it is showing, control C. So this is the port number it is showing. Okay, so this is the connection string is required. So I'm pasting into here. So the hub is running correct. So this is the command I have to take it. And 1 second, the node command, to execute node command, where is that URL? Okay, where is my hub? And this is my node, right? This is the node command I have to execute it. Go to command copy and paste it. Okay, and 1 second. Okay, this is the command I have to execute it. So the previously while executing my hub command, what is the port I have given? 1234. So here I have to specify 1234. Okay, this is the command I have to execute it from the command prompt in the remote node system. Okay, so you have to open command prompt and you need to navigate to wherever selenium server.jar file is there. You need to navigate to that path, and after that you have to execute this command. Command prompt locally command execute చేయాలి node system, so that node system will connect to hub system here. Okay, today at what time? Okay. Yeah, 11 AM is fine. Yes, yes, I'm available. Yes, yes. I already shared it. Yeah, I have shared all the documents in the zip file. Okay, okay, I will resend it. Okay. Yeah, I'm available for immediate job. So here so the same command, so this is the command I have to execute from the remote node system, so that this node system, okay, so this node system will connect to the hub system. Okay, so once both are executing in a command prompt in the node system, so the hub server is running here, and in the remote node system also, now node system also, it will execute in background in command prompt, it will be executed in background, some process will be executed. So when both the process are executing in background, okay, whenever you will execute your program, whenever your scripts are executing, those scripts will automatically, it will be executed on those scripts which will be automatically executed on remote system. Okay, how it will be executed in remote system? Okay, I'm coming to the programming point. Okay, so here I'm writing system.setProperty, and after that I'm specifying, so to launch your web browser, you have to write these many instructions. Okay, suppose if you are writing driver is equal to new Chrome driver, means that browser will be launched in your system only. But if you specify driver is equal to new remote web driver, okay, the browser will be launched in the remote web system, not in the current system. Okay, so that is the major difference. So to launch your browser remotely, you have to write like this, and in the remote system you have to specify on which browser. Is it on Chrome browser, or what is the platform of the remote system? Is it a Windows or Linux? You have to specify these things. So by using Chrome options and desired capabilities, we will specify the remote node system browser name and platform. Okay, these are the fixed lines of code we will write. Okay, so that system will aware the remote node system capabilities. Is it a Windows platform, and it is a browser type is Chrome browser. So in remote system, Chrome browser window will be launched automatically, and so the set of driver instructions, it will be automatically executed on Chrome browser. Okay, so okay, so right now I cannot able to show you this one, but I will show you the previous classes when I told the multiple systems. So to implement the Selenium grid concept, okay, 1 second, we need at least more than one system. Okay, Selenium grid, but in real time people are not using this concept, because most of the people, they are not aware. Okay,
program. This is the supporting jar file is needs to be located under C Chrome driver Win32 here. Okay.
See, here I am downloading. I downloaded Selenium server Chrome driver Win32 folder. Okay, and after that I navigated to command prompt. 1 second, I will show you the complete implementation. See here, I executed java-selenium server.jar hub command. 1 second.
After this, what we need to do is whenever you get a
See here I am executing to start my hub system. I have executed command as java-jar selenium server alpha1.jar hub command, so that your hub is executing on the your hub server is started in one of the system. And similarly, 1 second. My system is very slow.
the remote system. Once these two steps are
See the second command java-selenium jar node detect drivers. So this is the command I'm executing from my remote node system. Okay, so whenever I will execute from the remote node system in the command prompt, so the command prompt node system server will be executed in background. See here I'm going to execute this program. Okay, when I execute this program, so the program will be, so this is my node system. See here my node system is,
Chrome browser window is
I connected through any desktop, and I'm showing. So when I execute the program will be executed in remote system. See, this is my remote node system. Okay, when I execute the command, when I run the program, Chrome browser will be automatically. See here, my Chrome browser is launched automatically
is running
in my remote system.
I'm having one more laptop side by laptop. It's running in my remote.
So like this,
Your program successfully executed and Chrome browser also closed.
so like that. So whenever, so because we have written driver is equal to new remote web driver. So this program is going to execute on remotely on remote system. But if you will write driver is equal to new Chrome driver, it will be executed in your local system only. Whenever you will write driver is equal to new remote web driver, so the hub, it will pass the request to automatically the available nodes. Okay, so like that it will be executed. Okay, I want to tell you one more important point. Okay, so in TestNG data provider lab 3, in TestNG data provider lab 3, 1 second, not this one, in TestNG data provider lab 2, I think. 1 second. Right, this program only. So here see, if my browser equals ignore case of, it is connecting to Chrome browser. If my browser equals ignore case of, it will connect to Firefox browser. If browser equals ignore case of remote web driver, I have written test browser dot remote web driver. That means if my in my Excel sheet, if I will give the parameter value as like this, my program is going to execute in my remote system. So if I will go to open Chrome browser or open Firefox browser, corresponding code we are seeing. Similarly in test browser.java, so how I have written open Chrome browser, I have written a method name like this, WebDriver remote WebDriver. Okay, and I have written set of driver instructions here. Okay, and I am writing driver is equal to new remote web driver, and the hub system URL I am specifying. Okay, and a return driver, so the driver will be returned, and here, so the driver will be returned, and your set of launching of application URL, login, and everything will be executed on the remote node system, because the driver session was launched in remotely, and so it was launched on remotely, and all set of driver instructions also it will be executed on the remote node system only. So how to launch a Chrome browser? So in the interviews might be people will ask how to launch a program execution in the remote system. So you have to tell we have a remote WebDriver method. So we have to write Chrome options and desired capabilities. These are the two supporting class files we have to use, and we have created an object, and capabilities dot set platform, capabilities dot set browser name, and driver is equal to new remote web driver, and hub URL we have to pass it, and this capabilities we have to pass the argument, so that WebDriver will be launched. So like that. So if you'll go to my Excel also, if you go to my Excel in this program, tc01 add locations dot java. Okay, 1 second. C drive HTML report, orange HRM6. 1 second. So if I will go to this Excel sheet, not this one. Okay. So what I will do in the first browser parameter value, what I will give. So if it contains like browser, I will give first iteration. If I will specify like this Chrome, so the session will be launched on the local system only. But if I will specify my parameter value as this one, okay, thus the second iteration it will start in the remote node system. Okay, when so based on my based on my parameter value, the browser will be launched. Okay, so everyone understood? So the main important point in this program is launching of remote WebDriver scripting is fixed. So this point is, this method is fixed. Okay, even in our first program also, in Selenium Grid also, I have written the same thing on system.set property, and I'm using this this is the driver object, so that the set of driver instructions also it is executing on the remote system. Similarly, this set of driver instructions I have written, and I have written remote WebDriver, and your WebDriver is launching from the remote node system. So to launch and to execute in the remote node system, what are the points that you have to take care? You have to download. Okay, this you have to download. This is the one. 1 second. Where is that one? So we have to download Selenium server.jar file in your system, and you have to navigate to command prompt. Okay, and you have to execute hub command, and you have to execute node command. This is the hub command. We have to execute one of the system, and in all another node systems, we have to execute the node command, so that each and every node command will connect to the hub. Once all node systems are connected to your hub, okay, wherever you are mentioning the script remote WebDriver, those scripts will be executed automatically on the remote node system. Okay, so 1 second. Yeah, anyway, I'm going to share you this document. 1 second. So this document is distributing the test execution among multiple systems. We have to configure hub and node system to implement Selenium Grid concept. And to implement Selenium Grid, hub and node system should connect on same network. Suppose if you will connect in your Wi-Fi network where one of the system and another system is connected to different Wi-Fi network, so that hub and node system concept, it won't work. Both has to connect same Wi-Fi network or same LAN. It has to. Okay, so should connect to same network. We have to execute hub command from one of the system, so that system will act as a hub system, and it will act and it will manage all the node systems automatically. Okay, one system, why it has been closed. and we have to execute node command from the command prompt so that node system will be registered on the hub, connection will be established. So so these are the commands. Java -jar, this is the command we are executing in the hub system, one of the system, and the second command we are executing from the remote node system. After that, this is the main script, it is launching your browser in the remote node system. So this is the complete summary on Selenium Grid. So if anybody will ask you about Selenium Grid, how do you implement, you have to tell this part 1 2 3. So this from here to here, all these 4 points you have to explain, and you have to explain what is the hub command, what is the node command, and how you launch the remote web driver. So these things you have to specify. Okay, but in real time people are not using this concept. Okay. అదే పాతలో ఉండాలి. Okay, that's it on the Selenium Grid concept. Okay, so 1 second. And desired capabilities. Okay, desired capabilities అంటే సేమ్ ఒక బ్రౌజర్ అంటే దీని ఇంటర్వ్యూ క్వశ్చన్ కోసం దీన్ని ఒక సెపరేట్ ల్యాబ్